Welcome. This video is about C++ dynamic memory allocation. In this video, you will learn how to allocate and deallocate memory using the new and delete operators. We will compare static memory allocation, which is stacked memory, with dynamic memory allocation, which resides in the heap. So, why do we need dynamic memory? Stacked memory has limitations. It is of fixed size and is automatically managed by the compiler. On the other hand, dynamic memory provides flexibility. It allows us to create data structures whose size is determined during program execution or runtime. It also allows allocating memory that persists beyond the scope in which it was created, and also it enables more flexible resource management. Let's look at some code. The first part of the code snippet shows stacked memory allocation. We declare an integer array named numbers with a size of 10. This size is fixed at compile time. The second part shows dynamic memory allocation. First, we get the size of the array from the user at runtime using the function getUserInput. Then we allocate an integer array of the specified size using the new keyword. The allocated memory is pointed to by the pointer dynamic array. We can then use the array. In this example, we iterate through the array and assign values. Finally, it is crucial to manually free the dynamically allocated memory when it is no longer needed using the delete keyword with square brackets, followed by the array name. Now let's discuss memory organization, comparing the stack and the heap. On the left side, we have the stack memory section. Consider the line of code, int x equals 5. Here, the value 5 is directly stored on the stack. Next, consider the line int pointer ptr. Here, the stack stores the address where the integer pointer ptr points to. For example, 0x7fff8a4e. Now consider myClass object obj. The object is stored directly on the stack. And for myClass pointer pobj, the pointer to the heap object is stored on the stack. Moving to the right side, we have the heap memory section. The first block shows an example. Int pointer ptr equals new integer 10. Here, memory is dynamically allocated on the heap and initialized with the value 10. The address of this memory location, such as 0x7fff8a4e, is stored in ptr on the stack. The second block shows int pointer r equals new integer 5. Here, a dynamic array of 5 integers is allocated on the heap. The address of the first element of the array, such as 0x8a4e7fff, is stored in rr on the stack. The third block represents myClass pointer pobj equals new myClass. Here, a new instance of myClass is created on the heap, and its memory address, such as 0x7a4e8fff, is stored in pobj on the stack. Remember, stacked memory is automatically managed, while heap memory requires explicit allocation and deallocation by the programmer. Now let's explore the new operator in more detail, which is used for allocating memory on the heap. On the left side, we see examples of single-value allocation. In the first example, we allocate memory for a single integer using new int. The address of this memory is stored in the pointer ptr. Then we assign the value 42 to the memory location pointed to by ptr. In the second example, we allocate memory for a single integer and initialize it with the value 100 using new int 100. The address of this memory is stored in the pointer ptr2. In the third example, we allocate memory for a custom object of type myClass using new myClass. The address of this object in memory is stored in the pointer obj. On the right side, we have examples of array allocation. In the first example, we allocate an array of 10 integers using new int 10. The address of the first element of this array is stored in the pointer arr. Next, we initialize the elements of the array using a for loop, assigning values to each element. In the second example, we demonstrate dynamic sizing. We get the size of the array from the user using the function getSizeFromUser, and then allocate an array of doubles of the specified size using new double size. The address of the first element of this array is stored in the pointer data. A crucial point to remember is that if there isn't enough memory available, the new operator throws a standard bad allocate exception. Alternatively, you can use new with standard no throw to return a null pointer if memory allocation fails, instead of throwing an exception. Now let's discuss the delete operator, which is used to deallocate memory from the heap. On the left, we see examples of deallocating single values. First, we allocate memory for a single integer using new int 42 and store the address in a pointer named ptr. After using the allocated memory, we deallocate it using delete ptr. It's good practice to set ptr to nullptr after deallocation to prevent dangling pointers. On the right, we have examples of deallocating arrays. First, we allocate an array of integers using new int 10 and store the address in a pointer named arr. After using the array, we deallocate it using delete square brackets arr. Again, it's good practice to set r to nullptr after deallocation. Here's a memory diagram to illustrate the effect of delete. Initially, we have allocated memory. After calling delete, the memory is marked as freed and can be reused. It is important to note that using delete on arrays or delete square brackets on single values leads to undefined behavior. Always ensure that you match the allocation and deallocation operators correctly. Always use delete for memory allocated with new, and delete square brackets for memory allocated with new square brackets. Now let's delve into some common memory management issues that can arise when using dynamic memory. On the left side, we have a list of common errors. The first error is memory leaks. This occurs when you forget to deallocate memory that was allocated using new. The second error is dangling pointers. This happens when you try to use memory after it has already been freed. The third error is double deletion. This occurs when you attempt to deallocate the same memory twice, which can lead to corruption. The fourth error is using the wrong delete operator. Using delete instead of delete square brackets for arrays, or vice versa, can cause undefined behavior. On the right side, we have code examples illustrating these issues. The first example demonstrates a memory leak. We allocate memory for an integer array, but never deallocate it using delete square brackets ptr. The memory remains allocated, even after the pointer ptr goes out of scope, resulting in a memory leak. The second example shows a dangling pointer. We allocate memory for an integer, and then deallocate it using delete ptr. After deallocation, ptr becomes a dangling pointer, and attempting to access the memory it points to leads to undefined behavior. The third example illustrates double deletion. We have two pointers, x and y, pointing to the same memory location. Deleting x and then y results in double deletion, which is an error. Let's explore best practices for dynamic memory management to write safer and more reliable code. On the left side, we have a list of memory management guidelines. Always set pointers to nullptr after deletion to avoid dangling pointers. Always check if a pointer is nullptr before dereferencing it to prevent accessing invalid memory locations. Use smart pointers whenever possible. They automate memory management and reduce the risk of memory leaks. Follow the RAII resource acquisition as initialization principle, which ties the lifecycle of a resource to the lifespan of an object. Consider using containers such as vectors and lists instead of raw arrays. Containers handle memory management automatically. On the right side, we have code examples illustrating these practices. The first example demonstrates setting a pointer to nullptr after deletion. After deallocating the memory pointed to by ptr, using delete ptr, we set ptr to nullptr. The second example shows checking for nullptr before using a pointer. Before dereferencing ptr, we check if it is not equal to nullptr. The third example illustrates the use of smart pointers. Instead of using raw pointers, we use standard unique pointer int and create an object using standard make unique integer 42. With smart pointers, There is no need to manually deallocate memory. Let's take a closer look at smart pointers, which are modern C++ alternatives to raw pointers. Smart pointers automatically manage memory deallocation, helping prevent memory leaks and other common issues. There are three main types of smart pointers. The first type is unique pointer. It provides exclusive ownership of the memory and automatically deletes the memory when it goes out of scope. The second type is shared pointer. It allows shared ownership of the memory, and the memory is deleted when the last reference to it is gone. The third type is weak pointer. It provides a non-owning reference to a shared pointer object. On the right, we have code examples demonstrating the use of smart pointers. First, we include the memory header file. Then we create a unique pointer to an integer, initializing it with the value 42. Next, we create a shared pointer to an integer, initializing it with the value 100. We then create another shared pointer, SPTR2, that points to the same memory location as SPTR1. We can check the reference count of a shared pointer using the useCount method. In this case, the output will be 2, as both SPTR1 and SPTR2 are pointing to the same memory location. Let's walk through a practical example of creating a resizable array using dynamic memory. This example demonstrates a simple dynamic array class that manages its own memory. The constructor allocates memory on the heap, and the destructor ensures that memory is properly freed when the object is destroyed, following the RAII principle. The code starts by including the iostream library and using the standard namespace. Then we define a class called dynamic array. The class has three private member variables: data, which is a pointer to an integer array, size, which represents the number of elements currently stored in the array, and capacity, which represents the maximum number of elements the array can hold. The class has a constructor that takes an optional initial capacity argument with the default value of 5. Inside the constructor, we allocate memory for an integer array of size initial capacity using new int initial capacity. We initialize size to 0 and capacity to initial capacity. The class also has a destructor, denoted by the tilde symbol. Inside the destructor, we deallocate the memory pointed to by data using delete square brackets data. This ensures that the memory allocated for the array is properly freed when the dynamic array object is destroyed. Let's summarize what we've learned and explore further resources for delving deeper into dynamic memory management. We use new to allocate memory on the heap and delete for single objects, and delete square brackets for arrays. We set pointers to nulpter after deletion, and prefer smart pointers over raw pointers. Also, we follow the RAII principles for resource management. For further learning, you may want to explore C++ standard library containers such as vectors, lists, and maps. You may also learn smart pointer implementations, custom memory allocators, memory management patterns, and memory debugging tools. If you like this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Visit codelucky.com for more such useful content.